again. As I said, whenever I brew homebrew, I drink homebrew. So that means I'm on about my third. Now, something about homebrew that you can do that
Cheers.
You can't do with regular store-bought brew, you control everything. You control the hops, the grains, the water, the alcohol content. I make mine about between 7 and 8%. Now, one of the ones I made was that I've been drinking today. It's like 5%, maybe 6. One of the ones I've been drinking is actually a full egg. You know, gets you pretty toasted pretty fast. All right, so let's go over what I've been doing when you've been gone. Remember, we poured everything from the big pan into the little pan. All I did is wash this pan, and this one was full of water because remember I poured everything into it. I drained it into the big pan. Still draining, slow process. What I did while that was draining is I brought the water in that little pan, it's just a nice little 4-gallon pan, to 180 degrees. Could have done it on the stove. I wanted it to be a little faster than I did on the propane burner out here. So that's sitting at 180 degrees. For this particular recipe, 180 is your sparge temperature. So I want to wash the sugars and starches, or mostly sugars, left on this grain. I want to wash those off with 180 degree water, put them in that bucket. So watch me do it. Alright, that is hot. That little pan, hot. Not in the sexy like my wife is way, like in the temperature way. It's a sweatshirt, yes. Very scientific, very much specialty equipment. Now this is 3.8 gallons and I think this is a 4-gallon pot. It barely fit. I might drop a little bit.
Be very careful.
Because it's boiling, well it's not boiling water.
180 degrees.
Degree water.
Nearly boiling.
And I will admit, I'm not the most safe person in the world. Anything you see me do that you don't think
Not at all.
Just don't do it. Safety is number one. You would always rather be safe than sorry. Remember that, because sometimes I forget. For a disclaimer, don't try this at home. But I'm telling you how to try it at home.
Be careful.
Just be careful, people. Alright, this is 180 degree water. You can look in there, it's kind of this soupy texture. I'm going to start putting some more water in it.
You can't really see.
Can't really tell.
It's getting dark out here.
Getting dark out here, that's a great point. This process is almost an 8-hour process. I mean, it takes a long time to do that. Or almost a 5-hour process, rather. It takes a long time to do this. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time.
One more beer.
That looks like it's come to a stop.
Need my help?
I'm not sure. Uh-oh.
Stop up.
All right, people. Glad this happened. Sometimes you get stuff stuck. Yeah, close it and open it again.
There we go.
We closed it and opened it again. Why did that open up? No clue. Point is, you have got a lot of grains in here. They should all go through with no problem. Thing is, what happened, we poured our water in just a little bit too fast, and this came out and came down like that. That gives all of the grains a chance to escape, and you just got a regular valve down here. One piece of grain can clog it up. Moral of the story, make sure you keep this tight the whole time. One of those giant rubber bands would be a great idea that I didn't do, but it would have been a great idea. You want to make sure that you are trapping all of the grain. But again, looks like it's stopping for some reason. Can do that. So sometimes shutting the valve off and putting it back on works. Seems to have worked again. There must have been a piece of grain stuck in there. So we just unstuffed it. I don't think that's the word, but I've had like 3 home brews.
Dislodged.
So yeah, we dislodged it. That's the way to put it. So I'm just pouring this in, pouring this in, pouring this in. Now, this is a bit of an experiment for me as well. You notice the propane tank and the burner over there? Great contraption. We've got to keep this running for 1 hour at 145 degrees. Then we have to heat up 3.8 gallons of water to 180 degrees and run it through here as sparge water. And then we have to run another full hour at a full boil. That's 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. I don't use Celsius, I'm American. Anyway.
But if you're English, that's okay too.
Do I have enough propane to do all of that? I don't know, but you're going to find out today. I think it's going to be close. I think I'm going to have enough. We're going to see. So that's all you do in this step. You just take it from here, you pour it into here until it's all out. And you can see, if you want to show a shot of that bucket,
I think it's too
this
dark.
is nowhere, looks like it's a little dark. But this thing's about maybe a third or so full, and I've got about 2, maybe 3 more gallons to go. Where you're really losing most of your water, remember I said that you're dumping 8 gallons in here, most of it's going away in evaporation? I may want to retract that statement. I think that most of it's actually going away in the grain. Your grain is going to absorb a lot of water because it's grain, and that's what it does. It absorbs a lot of water. Looks like my light went out. But grain absorbs a lot of water. No, you do it over here.
Oh.
So when you see these things, especially, yeah, my light's on, okay, that's what happens. If you see these things on Brew 365 or Brew Pal on your iPhone, where it's calling for 8 gallons of water, even though you're only making a 5-gallon batch, by the way, that's all I ever make, a 5-gallon batch. Use 5-gallon cardboard. Most of it gets absorbed in your grain right here. There are actually pretty advanced formulas telling you exactly how this stuff works. I'm not going to go into those formulas. You can find them online. Or if you use BrewPal for $2, this is the best $2 I've ever spent. I don't buy apps. Why? Do I buy apps?
Doesn't buy apps.
I don't buy apps. I bought this app. It was $2, worth every penny. Now, if you're not going to brew or you're going to do extract brewing only, it's a big giant waste of money. You're right. Absolutely 100% agree. But if you're going to do all grain brewing, BrewPal is a great app. I'm not getting paid to say this. I don't know who BrewPal is. BrewPal and Brew 365. If you hear this and you want to send me some cool brew equipment, right on. Really, folks, I'm not getting paid to say this. It's just a great app. It's totally worth the $2. You only spend $2 one time. Anyway, I like it. If you don't have an iPhone, I understand that things are expensive. They're cool, but they're expensive. A lot of people don't have them, and I totally understand that. You can also do it on an iPod Touch, though. Just putting it out there. So I'm letting that go. Just going to let this bucket fill up. So let's go over a couple of the other things that I want to make sure that I really hit home tonight. Sanitize. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Sanitize everything. Always important. Research. Do a lot of research before you start brewing because a lot goes into this. I'm giving you this recipe free of charge, so to speak. And also there are all sorts of websites out there. Brew 365 is one. Just type in all grain home brewing in Google. You will get recipes that give you the breakdown. This is how long you sparge. This is how long you... This is what the ingredients are, so on and so forth. This particular recipe is kind of a really basic recipe. But it's also really fun to brew your own brew.